is keeping online offerings interactive instead of just talking at participants. And I know it's very easy for me to sit here in a seminar type format and talk to you for an hour and say we need to keep things interactive. But even when we have a need to mute everybody's phone line like we are today, we're trying to keep it as interactive as possible. And quite frankly, I wouldn't call this training. It's a seminar, it's a workshop. No, it's not a workshop. It's more like a conference session. And in a conference session, you have an understanding that you're not going to come out being able to blend, being able to facilitate online, being able to manage a project. In an hour, you're not going to have the opportunity to practice those skills. But when we move to blended learning, we want to make sure we keep our programs, even the self-paced components, as interactive as possible. Because quite frankly, even the most motivated participants can be disengaged by too much lecture, too much reading, or too much straight content in any format. I can choose to spend my very rare free time watching television for 2 hours. And at the end, I couldn't tell you what I watched, because even though I was motivated to be there, even though I was interested and I chose to interact on that topic, 2 hours of content just coming at me, it's just too hard to stay engaged. And I agree, Nancy, the self-paced programs need to be interactive. And Nancy, if we focus the design of our self-paced programs on knowledge-based objectives instead of trying to be all things to all people in one format, I think we can be a lot more successful. I do have a caveat. There are a lot of self-paced simulations that teach very high-end skills. If you think about things like even the Wii Fit or the Wii Dance Revolution, people are learning to dance and learning to exercise in a self-paced format that they've created that interaction. And Jeff, we hear a lot, this webinar will be interactive, which means at the end we'll have questions and answers. I think that people at the end aren't really interested in being there anymore. We're run by Outlook. And if the Outlook it says you've got another meeting at 2 o'clock, it doesn't matter that we started late or I talked too slowly. You're focused on the next meeting, not on questions and answers. So we do want to keep our medium from becoming the message. And I'm not a self-paced or asynchronous content expert, but they say that those modules, 12 minutes max. We suggest that synchronous interactions in programs like this, participants should do something every 3 to 5 minutes. And our work should be immersive. In other words, it's got to be very relevant, we've got to be very engaged, and as often as possible, it should be managed, it should be real work oriented. With blended learning, we don't need to come up with everything. We can have a live online class, send them home with a self-paced exercise that has them apply what they've learned to real work. Then maybe take a short tutorial that preps them for the next live online session, and they go back and their homework, if you will, is real work oriented. And that makes it much more relevant.